Hi, this is Rob Curto here at Liberty Bellows in Philadelphia. Welcome back to my video series on groove creation for the accordion. In the last few videos, we've been focusing on a tune by the great king of Zydeco, Clifton Chenier, called I'm Coming Home. I'm Coming Home utilizes an 8-bar blues pattern with a 12/8 rock and roll groove. So far, we've learned to play a bass line, a right-hand comping pattern, and the melody. For today's video, we'll explore how to create an improvisation by taking a single melodic shape and transposing it over different parts of the chord progression. Here's a quick review of the 8-bar blues harmony in the key of C. The chords are one measure each of C, G, A minor, F, C, and G, followed by 2 beats each of C, F, C, and G to finish our 8-bar progression. With the bass line and comping pattern, it looks and sounds like this. Now let's invent a 2-measure phrase that we'll use to create our solo. Start with the notes of the pentatonic scale in C, because they can be used over this entire progression. The notes of the pentatonic scale are C, D, E, G, and A. This is the first, second, third, fifth, and sixth notes of the major scale. We can play it like this. Now let's invent a riff as our template for an improvisation. Here's a pattern which starts on beat 2 and utilizes the triplet feel of our 12/8 groove. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's look at the fingering for this phrase. We'll use the notes of the C pentatonic scale, starting with our 5th finger on C, 3rd on A, and 2nd on G. Then we'll go back up to C and play the exact same phrase again. This time descending to our 1st finger on E, then 2-1 on the D, C, and finishing up with a triplet D, E, D with fingers 2, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. This phrase fits over our first measure of C, landing on a D on the first beat of our second measure, which is a G. Listening with the chord in the left hand, it sounds like this. The D is an excellent landing note for the G chord because it is a chord tone found in our G triad. Then we can hold the D for the last 3 notes of the second measure. We'll start our second phrase on beat 2 of our third measure, which has an A minor chord, for 4 beats. To play this phrase, I've translated the same pattern, but starting on a different note of the scale, the E. It looks and sounds like this. Notice how these 2 phrases have a very similar shape, but are just translated to a different spot in our scale. Our fingering for this second phrase is 5-4-3 on the E, D, and C, which happens twice. Then 3-2-1 on the A, G, E, followed by a triplet A, C, A with fingers 3, 5, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. The last note of our phrase is an A. The A is an excellent landing tone because measure 4 has an F chord, and A is the third of the F chord, or F major triad. If you listen to it, you'll hear that it works harmonically. Now we need a phrase to play over measures 5 and 6 of our 8-bar blues pattern. Measures 5 and 6 are C for one measure and then G for one measure. This is the same as our first two measures. We could use the same phrase that we played over measures 1 and 2, but let's vary it yet again. Let's start a new phrase starting on A, yet another note of the C pentatonic scale. This phrase looks and sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Note that we've utilized the same rhythmic pattern that we used on phrases 1 and 2, starting on beat 2 of the measure and finishing on beat 1 of the second measure with a triplet. The fingering we'll use for this third phrase is fingers 5, 4, 3 on the AGE, which repeats, followed by 2, 1, 2 on the DCA, and finishing up with a triplet GAG with fingers 1, 2, 1. Notice how this pattern uses the exact same rhythmic scheme that we used for our first two phrases. If we play everything that we have so far with our left-hand chords, it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 3, 4. Now for our final phrase, let's continue to use the pentatonic scale and the same rhythmic pattern, but this time we'll invert it so the phrase starts with the lowest note and plays the shape ascending instead of descending. Let's start on D. It looks and sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. This phrase is played over our last two measures, which are 2 beats of C, 2 beats of F, 2 beats of C, and 2 beats of G. Together with the chords, it looks and sounds like this. Our fingering for this phrase is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2. Now let's listen to the entire 8 measures together with the bass line we learned in our previous video. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Congratulations on learning to improvise over an 8-bar blues progression by taking a single melodic pattern and playing it starting on different notes of the pentatonic scale. This technique can be used with any phrase that you can invent. Your phrase can be varied, inverted, and transposed into different keys to play over any progression. Try experimenting by taking a single melodic phrase and creating an entire improvisation. And stay tuned for our next video on groove creation for the accordion.